Hey guys, Sarah here. So this is obviously a very weird video that probably isn't even needed, but I thought that I would correct some mistakes that I have been making or have made in some videos that you guys have commented on and sent me messages about. So the first one that I want to address is a comment that I actually just got on my hibernation brumation video, which was basically saying that there was so much incorrect information here. I rewatched the video, and when he says so much information, I think really all he means is the term brumation versus hibernation. I recently read an article, and I believe that I linked it at underneath the video. But if I didn't, I will find it and try to link it here and at that video also. Saying that the term brumation was sort of outdated at this point because, it's just not really needed. And multiple people commented saying that there was definitely a difference between the two, and that hibernation is for warm-blooded animals, brumation is for cold-blooded animals. So, as far as that whole video goes, and I'll link it somewhere. As far as that whole video goes, fine. Just go ahead and replace anytime I said the word brumation with the word hibernation. As far as everything else, he said there's so much incorrect information, but didn't present any examples of that other than the term, hibernation versus brumation that I actually mentioned in my video why I was using the term that I was using. So unless this person comes back and says, hey, there's all this other information that's wrong, I'm just going to correct that for right now. The next video that I wanted to talk about is actually the genetics videos. I'm not a geneticist, guys. I did not go to school for genetics. I went to school for philosophy. I started in pre-vet, and I grew up on a farm, so animal husbandry is something that I'm familiar with. Just because of the farm. But as far as actually being a geneticist, I am not. And there was a point in one of my videos when I mentioned, oh, this is how you might learn how to do it in a genetics class. And that was very, very incorrect, I've been told. That is not how you would learn in a genetics class, apparently. So every time that I use a capital letter in my genetics courses, I say courses, my genetics videos, that is not the correct way to do things if you are in a genetics class. Capital letters stand for, I have been told, the dominant gene, whereas small letters are the recessive gene. And then when you have a hierarchy, then that makes it, I don't know how you even deal with the hierarchy. So when I say a hierarchy, I mean normal versus motley versus stripe, something like that, where normal is dominant over motley, but motley is dominant over stripe. Or if you're dealing with, say, tessera, and then normal, and then any other recessive gene. So if you have tessera, which is dominant over the normal type, and the normal type is dominant over, say, amel or something like that, I don't know how you would write that out. Again, I'm not a geneticist, so just sort of take that with a grain of salt. You're not going to be able to use that in your genetics course. I never intended those to be used in genetics courses. I always just intended for you guys to be able to calculate the statistics of your genes when you're breeding your corn snakes, if that's something that you wanted to do. As far as the symbols that you use in statistics, it doesn't matter what symbols you use as long as you know what the symbols mean. And that's all I was really trying to teach you guys. That's all I was really trying to help with. So as long as you guys can sort of take those videos and use them for how, make them work for you, that's all that really mattered to me. And also in those videos, I say, especially in the allelic videos, I talk about the genes I say genes instead of gene mutations, and I'm supposed to say gene mutations, and I'm not supposed to say locus, I'm supposed to say gene there. So you have a gene and there's multiple gene mutations. So an example of that would be amel and ultra. It's the same gene, you just have multiple mutations of the same gene. And so, and like the reason I say there's two different genes that share a locus is because it's easier to sort of understand. Again, I made those videos so that you guys could more easily figure out or like understand how to calculate the statistics. I'm not a geneticist, as I mentioned. I apparently have to preface all of my videos with that now. I'm not a geneticist. I apparently have to preface all of my videos now with I'm not a botanist, not a botanist, I'm not a herpetologist, I'm not a scientist. I'm a human being, a normal person who just sometimes uses the most like easiest terminology to understand just so people can learn. Like, I understand that a lot of times it's best to maybe learn the correct terminology first so that you don't have to go back and unlearn and relearn things. But especially when it comes to things like learning corn snake genetics and stuff, if I were to tell you there's two genes on the same gene or there's two mutations on the same gene, sometimes that just becomes more complicated than saying, hey, these two different things look different and but they show up on the same place because they're friends. Like it's easier, like it's more of a layman's terms type of thing. It's easier to understand. So I'm sorry that those things were incorrect. I'm just trying to I'm going through my comments, and I know that a lot of people know that YouTube comments in general are just very toxic, but I did want to correct the issues that I have made, and I'm sorry if I've made it more confusing for anyone because that's never been my intention. My intention has never been to confuse you more. My intention has never been to spread incorrect information. When it came to the brumation video, I had read an article from like last year, from like 2019, of a herpetologist wrote this journal article saying that the term brumation was outdated and we didn't need it anymore and we might as well use the term hibernation because they essentially are the same thing. And a lot of people have come at me about that. So again, if you do, need to brumate your snakes or whatever, and you watch that video, just know that now I know that that was incorrect. And do not trust every journal article that you read because not everyone's always going to agree on journal articles. And when it comes to the genetics videos, remember, I'm not a geneticist. I did not go to college for this. I don't even make a living off of these videos. I don't make any money off of these videos. I don't even make merch money off of these videos most of the time. Like, I advertise my merch a lot, and I rarely ever get... I think I've only had like 3 things sold on my website for merch. So, and that's over the course of the last year. So, I don't make money doing this, and I'm not trying to spread misinformation. I'm just trying to help people who ask me questions. I'm trying to help them understand how things work because sometimes people just don't know, they don't understand why we call it brumation instead of hibernation. And I don't necessarily feel like that's what the video was about. The video was about how do I put my snakes down for the winter. That's what the video was about. And so if you watch that video and now you know better how to put your snakes down for the winter and how to do that in a safe way, then that was the goal of the video. The goal was not to spread misinformation. So again, thank you guys for watching. I know this was sort of off the cuff. Again, I know I do these random rant videos once in a while, and this wasn't ranting so much as it was just addressing issues that people have had in previous videos. So thanks for watching. Thanks for constructive criticism. I'm sorry if I don't always take it very well. I'm learning how to maneuver social media better. So thanks for watching again. I'll see you in the next video, guys.